Welcome to the second episode of the SportsBurst podcast. It's been about a week and a half since we've been here, but glad to be here as always, joined by, I would say, JJ McCarthy Truther.
We're half and half on that one right now. Jerry's still out on him.
As always, though, Nate Watson, Austin Suarez, and your weekly source of ball knowledge up next.
I want me some glory hole.
Welcome back to the SportsBurst podcast. Segment 1, NFL Thanksgiving recap.
It was a pretty good set of games for Thanksgiving. It usually is, so it's not like it's crazy that it was, good games, but those were some really good games.
And I mean, surprisingly, the Lions game was good. Every Thanksgiving, I don't really look forward to the Lions game. I mean, since the Dan Campbell era, I've been kind of like, all right, whatever, Lions time.
But you know how I feel about the Lions. I can't really add much to that.
Yeah, no, and speaking of the Lions, first game in the slate, Packers versus Lions, 31-24 Packers. It was some sloppy football, to say the very least, from the Detroit Lions.
We've seen better both ways. I didn't like watching that game because, two division rivals. I didn't want either of them to win, but somebody had to win.
Yeah, it's like the prime hate watch for you.
It is. It was. I sat there and I was telling my dad, I don't want to watch this, but I felt like I had to. Yeah,
as a ball fan, you got to pretty much watch anything NFL, college that comes across your way.
Especially the Thanksgiving games.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. family and football, it's such a great combination.
Of course.
Food, the trifecta, if you will. But, anyways, with the Lions here, there was one play that really stood out to me. Goff to Montgomery, back to Goff, and Goff drops it. Just to start off this whole segment with some great stuff here, a crucial 4th and 3 drop made by Jameson Williams. He could just not hold on to the ball.
He's such a good playmaker once the ball is in his hands, but until it gets there, he's such a liability.
It's a 50-50 shot.
You never know what you're getting.
Jordan Love having an amazing game, 4 touchdowns against I'm going to say, very solid Detroit defense.
Are you aware of Toyotathon Jordan Love? Do you know about Toyotathon Jordan Love?
No, but go ahead and enlighten me.
When you look at the stats, during the annual event Toyotathon, which is a Toyota sales event from about November to January, he's one of the best quarterbacks. Just cut and dry. 40 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Career during Toyotathon.
It's like Derek Carr during election season.
It is. Or January Joe Flacco.
January Joe Flacco.
Exactly. It's the same thing. Toyotathon Jordan Love, coming from a Vikings fan, it's something to be feared. Just be happy Toyotathon is not in February.
Yes, 1,000%. And Isaiah McDuffie, 12 tackles, 7 solo tackles. Micah Parsons, a sack to basically take the entire game. He's now up to 12.5 for the year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say that the Micah Parsons trade was the worst trade Dallas ever made, but Green Bay is getting some production out of him.
Green Bay has gotten some production. Just don't ask Micah to stop the run, because then he might not.
Yeah.
But that's not the point at hand. Micah had a good play to seal the game, but the game was already lost.
100%.
Or won, depending on who you're a fan of.
And, up next, though, other than that amazing Packers versus Lions game, another great game on the slate, Chiefs versus Cowboys, 38-21. What an underdog story the Cowboys have been so far. And you wouldn't think they were underdogs given the absolute elite offense they are running right now. But that defense needed some work done, and work got done.
Work has been done.
Quinnen Williams had an amazing game. For the time being, at least until, the Thursday game against the Lions, Dallas was still alive for the playoff push.
They're not out yet, but
it's a 9% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen personally. Given that Mahomes can still definitely play, he still threw 4 touchdowns, no picks. What's next for the Chiefs? We were just looking at the potential draft picks, and we saw that Miami not only holds a higher draft pick than Minnesota, but the Chiefs are right between us.
If you had told me at the beginning of the season that our 2 teams would be next to Kansas City in the draft order, I'd be happy about that, but I'm not thrilled with having the 10th overall pick at the moment.
And that's the thing with this season. This season is full of a lot of If you would have told me this at the beginning,
exactly.
it wouldn't have happened. Jaguars, I mean, they're just absolutely, for lack of a better term, crapping the bed. The Chiefs, what the heck's going on there?
6-6, I believe.
And I mean, speaking of the next team, the Eagles, 24-25 or 24-15, my excuses, against the Bears.
The Bears showed up. They had a game plan for the run game, and they executed perfectly. They had more rushing yards between two backs than, I think, the 80s. They broke their own record from the 80s. The Bears showed up, and they ran the ball. They didn't throw it. They didn't need to. Maybe they couldn't, but they didn't need to. They ran the ball against a really good run defense.
Yeah, I would definitely say they needed to run the ball. I mean, Caleb Williams had a pretty rocky performance, let's be honest.
He usually does.
I mean, 17 for 36, 154 yards, a touchdown and a pick.
Yep.
But you got to love the old smash mouth football coming in for the save. Bring back the fullback.
I can agree with that. We need more fullbacks.
We need more fullbacks.
2 fullbacks on the roster, at least.
Have 2 fullbacks flanking the back at all times. Don't even throw a halfback in there or a tailback. No. Just 2 absolute big fullbacks, like my man Pat over here.
You know what? Get rid of the quarterback. We're just going to snap it to the running back, 3 fullbacks.
Wildcat with a running back flanked by 2 fullbacks.
I can see it.
Bring it back. And speaking of back, Bengals versus Ravens, Joe Burrow is back. How are we feeling about Joey B?
Amazing. Love seeing it. Love seeing that man play football.
Threw the ball 46 times. 46 times in his welcome party. And, I mean, before I glaze Joe Burrow, Nate with logistics of the game, take it away.
It was a good game, don't get me wrong, but I expected more. I expected more from Baltimore. Baltimore, they're a good football team, and they've shown up when they've needed to this year, but they forgot they had a game against the Bengals. They just weren't there. Lamar wasn't there. But Joe Burrow, for his first game back, what more could you ask for?
I mean, and that's the thing with the Baltimore Ravens. They have over-reliance on few key stars. You know, your Lamar Jacksons, your Derrick Henrys, and they because of that, they have a lack of depth. I mean, what happens when Lamar gets injured? I mean, we've seen what happened. Then they lose 4 in a row. Tyler Snoop Huntley couldn't get the job done. Dolphins legend, put him in over Tua, but he couldn't get the job done. And then who else were they running? They were running
They were missing a bunch of key players in and out. It was never a consistent group of guys. They had a whole bunch of injuries, mainly on defense, and I think they're more or less healthy now. But it's the fact that when they shut down part of the Ravens game, the rest falls apart. When they can't run the ball, they can't pass the ball. When they can't pass the ball, they stack the box, and they can't run the ball. Derrick Henry, he's clearly lost a step this year. Sad to see it.
And I remember we watched the Ravens Week 1 game, and you were just saying, oh, my God, he's so good. He's so good. When we were watching Derrick Henry, because he put up nearly 150 yards that game. But, with age, man, these running backs, they're the most – they're, I would say, the second most abused position in football. First is offensive linemen.
They are, yes. I can't disagree with that. But running backs have a much shorter life. Look at Dalvin Cook. He was so good, and then he was gone.
Jay Ajayi, so good, and then he was gone. Raheem Mostert, so good, but he was gone. It's been awful, but we still got a lot of good running backs in the league.
Do.
And speaking of amazing running back performances, I want to go ahead and move it over to Saints versus Dolphins. Rough game to watch. Let's just say that it was. I think we won 17-21, I believe, something like that. Excuse me if I'm wrong. The whole key fact of the matter is we were up 11 points in the fourth quarter and we almost blew it.
I saw it. I really thought they were going to lose on that 2-point conversion. And if the Saints had a legitimate quarterback, they lose that game.
And the fact that our defense made Tyler Shuck look like a veteran player out there. I mean,
26.
Oh my God, is he?
I believe he's a 26-year-old rookie.
Jeez.
He's got a few years under his belt.
Them COVID years, man, really will take you out. I mean, Tua was inconsistent, 12 for 23.
When is he consistent?
2023, when we played every team that was under .500.
Yep.
But they can never make me hate you. Yes, they can. 12 for 23, 153 yards a pick. I mean, the biggest, key thing from this game is Devon Achane hit the 1,000 rushing yard milestone, had a 134-yard game and a touchdown. Great day. But really nothing much to say with the Dolphins and Saints game specifically. I mean, we have the Jets tomorrow, Steelers, Bengals, Buccaneers, Patriots to finish out the year. I think that this is going to be a 1-4 finish. I think we're going to win at least 7 games, 6 or 7 maybe. We've already won 6, but yeah, it's just been a rough season all around.
It has been, but you have potential to get a good draft pick still, so you have to weigh the win versus the loss. Literally, of do you want a draft pick or do you want to see some game wins?
1,000%. But bringing it on over to Nate. Nate, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm about right there with you. As we said earlier, the Vikings and the Dolphins, they're in the same spot for the draft choices. And I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm hoping for losses, but I'm hoping for ethical tanking where you almost win the game and then you just lose it. Unlike against the Seahawks where the Vikings they lost 26-0. First time they had been shut out since, I believe, 2007. I was 4. Wonderful streak to break there, especially when they could have taken 3 points and instead went for it on 4th and 1 with a rookie, undrafted free agent quarterback. And he threw one of the most Will Levis-like interceptions I've ever seen. He went 19 for 30 for a grand 96 total yards and 4 picks. 4 interceptions.
He can't do that.
The Seahawks defense had more yards returning his interceptions than the Vikings had offense.
It was a very rough watch.
It ended up being funny. It was bad, but then it got funny. So,
I mean, that's why I guess you got to hope for the ethical tanking. You know, McCarthy needs more help. Obviously, your offensive linemen aren't sustainable enough. We might want to.
They can't stay healthy. They have not been healthy.
I mean, when is it time to just say, hey, it's time to get some value out of these guys and just move on?
They can't. They've put too much money into it. It's hard to move on from them at this point. But I think with some retooling in the offseason and some better coaches, not head coach, positional coaches, they can still be good. They're just marred with injuries and a rookie quarterback, which I do think J.J. McCarthy still has potential, but it's been a rough watch. I'm not going to act like he's been.
You are one offensive coordinator away from a Super Bowl.
Oh, believe me, I know. If we get rid of Wes Phillips and hire Brian Daboll, I can see it.
Brian Daboll is a great offensive mind, and I will say that. He's just not a good head coach.
He's not a good head coach, and I would not want him as a head coach, but I would do about anything to get him as the offensive coordinator of the Vikings.
1,000%.
I will say, though, Brian Flores for the defense, he's been great. I know they gave up 26 points against Seattle, but when you take off the 7 for the pick 6, that's only 19. In a game that they didn't score, they only gave up 19 points. That's pretty good.
I mean, I'm missing, good old Gink myself. Andrew Van Ginkel, man.
I quite like him.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that really flew below the radar for so long.
And he still does, but when he's healthy, he's a great playmaker, but he just doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
No, not at all. And I mean, I just hope your Vikings, and my Dolphins alike, take the picks, learn from this season, and hopefully move on. Maybe we'll have another rematch in the Super Bowl.
Maybe not this year. It's still on the cards, though. We could still see it. Vikings-Dolphins Super Bowl this year. Anybody want to take the odds on that?
Hey, Hard Rock Bet. Let us know. But our final game of the recap, we are going to be recapping one of the craziest games I think we've ever seen this week, any week of the season. And that's going to be the Rams versus the
Panthers.
Yeah.
What a game that was. That Matthew Stafford having, I don't know the amount of games, but I think 20, maybe 25 straight passing touchdowns with no interceptions gets broken against the Panthers.
2 picks by Matthew Stafford. He only had 2 picks throughout the entire season. He threw his entire season amounts worth of picks in this game to the Carolina Panthers.
Now, the Panthers, they may not be the most star-studded team, but they've quietly had a pretty good defense when they needed it, and they showed it against the Rams. And you can't go without saying, Bryce Young, he looked pretty good. He finally found a way to be an elite quarterback against a team that isn't the Falcons.
15 for 20, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. That's one touchdown for every 1.5 throw or 5.5 throws, something like that.
Pretty good stats.
Pretty amazing stats. I mean, I felt bad for Bryce Young for so long because I knew this kid had it in him. He's been great ever since his days in college. No one wanted to give him a fair shake, though. They saw what they saw within the past couple of years and writ him off completely. And that is something you cannot do to a young, hungry quarterback, is write them off. And Bryce Young showed it.
He did. He was great. And there was one specific play that really struck a chord with me. It was, I want to say, third down, and they were at about the 50-yard line, and no catches yet for Ted McMillan. Throws a bomb for a touchdown.
The absolute rocket for the tutty. I mean,
it was just great.
Who doesn't love that?
As a fantasy owner, it was great. But as a viewer, it was so good.
And the particular stat that speaks to me the most is, Carolina throughout all 4 quarters scored at least 7 points through each quarter. They scored 14 in the first, 3 in the second, 7 in the third and fourth, respectively. They held the Rams to 0 points in the third quarter.
That's a big thing to do against that kind of offense.
Against Matthew Stafford, the bona fide MVP candidate for this year. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, and I know we're looking forward to seeing more
of course
of what the Panthers can do. But we're going to go ahead and move on. We'll come back because we have a message from a special guest. Welcome back to SportsBurst. I have one of the greatest emails of all time right in front of me.
It was quite a read.
So, I mean, this is the Rick. Let's just introduce him. This is Rick. Say hi to Rick. We thought he was inanimate until, one morning I was getting up, made me a cup of coffee, went to play some Arc Raiders, was checking my email, and I saw an email from the Rick, and let me just go ahead and read it to you guys. Dear SportsBurst, I really enjoyed your Frog Watch segment from last week. I don't know what a frog is. Well, I do.
I know what frogs are.
But Frog Watch, anyways.
He might be confused.
And wanted to say that after the Chiefs lost to the Cowboys and the Eagles lost to the Bears, it is safe to say that they are the biggest frogs in the NFL. I think he meant fraud.
It seems like he means fraud, but he's saying frog.
But I can't agree more. I mean, the Chiefs, like we were just saying earlier, right in between Minnesota and Miami, they have a bunch of key losses so far.
They do, and they were in the Super Bowl last year. They didn't win it, but they were in the Super Bowl last year.
I mean, Mahomes falling down to Cowboys after a 4-touchdown game. Kenny Clark trade. It all circulates back to that.
The Kenny Clark trade. Rick knows it. The Rick knows.
He called the Kenny Clark trade before anything.
He told Jerry to make the trade.
I mean, he even informed Chef that it was, going to be happening. I mean, the Chiefs have a couple of key wins here. They got that 37-20 to win against the Ravens. 30-17 against the Lions. 22-9 against the Giants. The loss to the Chargers week 1, which was kind of crazy to see.
That was pretty shocking.
That was very shocking, to say the least. The Broncos loss.
That was a good game, though. And the Broncos, are they a team? I don't know.
They're frauds. I'm not even going to say it quiet. They're frauds. They're not on fraud watch because they're on fraud warning. That I can say at the very least. I mean, and then not to mention that November 2nd loss to the Bills, 28-21, and barely beating the Colts in overtime. Nate, what do you have to say about the Chiefs?
So they're what, 6-6?
Yes.
They're 2 games behind, out of the playoffs, behind who else but Buffalo, because of course it happens that way. Not as a Chiefs fan. If I was a Chiefs fan, I would be beyond worried about this because under Pat Mahomes, they haven't missed the AFC Championship, not just the playoffs. They've been in the AFC Championship every year with him.
Even in his rookie year, while he was a second string.
His first year starting.
Oh, was it his first year starting?
His first year
was
starting.
that the correct me if I'm wrong, the Chiefs versus Tom Brady game? The one
There's
where
been a bunch of those.
Yeah, no, the last one. Not the last one. Tom Brady on the Patriots versus the Chiefs. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. I apologize. But it was like Tom Brady versus the Chiefs. It was AFC Championship. It was Mahomes' either rookie year or second year. But I know he was on the bench.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm
I don't
tripping.
know.
If you guys know in the comments, please help a brother out. I really.
Anyways, though, I do think the Chiefs still make the playoffs. I know they're 2 games behind with only 5 left to play, but I still think they make the playoffs. And if they make the playoffs, I'm going to be honest with you, they're going to make it into the Super Bowl. That's just what they do best.
I mean, they have a very integral key matchup tomorrow against the Texans, who I believe are already on the bubble.
I believe they're a game ahead of the Chiefs.
Yeah, they believe they come in at number 8, so they're 2 games ahead against the Chiefs apparently. With the Steelers being right in between. It's very easily to say that Chiefs beat the Texans. Texans fall under. Texans fall to 10. Steelers at 9. Chiefs at 8. And I mean, the Chiefs would just be 1 game away, pretty much.
They have a tough schedule left to play. They still have to play Denver again, and some other. I believe the Chargers. I believe it's Denver and the Chargers again. But they also have the Titans and the Raiders, which should be winnable games. But they've got some tough games left. I don't know if they can win enough to make it into the playoffs. Who knows? I've seen some Chiefs fans legitimately wanting Andy Reid fired.
I've seen that too.
So maybe they're just going through it.
And I mean, to say that you want one of the greatest head coaches of all time fired, I mean, go cry me a river.
Yeah,
Chiefs, you are the most insufferable fan base of all time, and I will put my name on that. Austin Suarez said that. But moving on from the Kansas City Chiefs, Eagles. Rick, what the hell? You think the Eagles are frauds? I mean, can you see that?
Yeah.
What do you mean you can see that?
Saquon Barkley at this time last year had 1,000 more rushing yards than he does this year, and they have Jalen Hurts at quarterback. I think that's a full stop. I can just stop there. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. He puts up numbers because he has a bunch of 1-yard rushing touchdowns because of a play that they run, and they don't even have the correct offensive linemen to run it like they did in the past few years. They lost key linemen. Saquon can't run it like he did, and they just don't have it. I get that they're 8-4, but I just don't see it this year.
First of all, Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, the Eagles suck! I hate the Eagles! They are frauds! That's all.
Austin.
That's all.
I agree with that statement. Maybe not as passionately, but I do agree with you.
I absolutely hate anything Philadelphia.
You know I do.
I mean, Penn State, get out of here. Philadelphia Flyers, move on. The Phillies, as a Braves fan, I don't even want to talk baseball. I hate Philadelphia. And I am so glad, so glad that everyone is finally starting to see why they're truly not a good football team. I get it. In the NFL, it's all about box score at the end of the day. Even if it's a 1-point win, it's a win. And the Eagles were, it's not how you start, it's how you finish kind of team. But that whole philosophy is not holding up.
It's not. And a lot of questions are falling on their head coach and their offensive coordinator. A lot of Eagles fans want the offensive coordinator fired. What team doesn't want their OC fired? It seems like a yearly thing for most teams.
The OC carousel.
Exactly.
But
in the Eagles case, Nick Sirianni won't change any play calling between them. They're both doing the same things week in and week out, and it's not working.
And once you get film on that kind of thing, I mean...
Exactly. That's why they can't run the ball, because bad play calling, bad O-line, film on Saquon. He's probably also dealing with some injuries.
1,000%.
I would say if there was a bona fide fraud for the year, it is the Eagles. They're only going to make the playoffs because they're in an easy division, and I think head-to-head, Dallas beats them again.
I mean, and I love Dallas beating them that first time.
It was great.
I mean, how can you not love it?
Exactly. Just especially going and reading all the Eagles fans just wanting everything burned down after it.
I mean,
great.
There's nothing worse than a Philadelphia fan.
And there's nothing better than a Philadelphia loss.
Nothing better than a Philadelphia loss. Cry, Eagles, cry. But, Rick, I honestly kind of like your idea of this Frog Watch segment, or Fraud Watch. The frog virus is getting to me.
I guess so.
But I think I have an idea. What are your thoughts on the Steelers as potential frauds in the NFL?
I don't know, because I've always been really iffy on the Steelers. Never been a fan, never really hated them. Now they have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, which is a divisive conversation for any Vikings fan. But he's been hurt. He's been in and out with some arm, I believe, wrist injury. I believe it's his right wrist, his throwing arm. So he's been in and out. They're sitting at 6-6. They aren't looking great. And I didn't realize this was a 3-for-3 theme on this, but the Steelers fans want Mike Tomlin fired. Who would have thought it? Every year we want Mike Tomlin fired, but he's never had a losing season. I don't know.
I mean, coming from someone who, has never seen their team win a playoff game, I think I've seen my team in the playoffs. Let me count. I think I can count on, one hand. We had that 2008 season, Wildcat formation.
5 years old.
5 years old. We had the 2013 Adam Gase season with Tannehill. We had Tua in the playoffs twice, I believe. 4 times. At least Tomlin's team can make the playoffs consistently. Womp, womp, womp. Like, I don't know. I would love to have Mike Tomlin as my head coach.
I wouldn't take him over KOC, but I think that about half the league would take Mike Tomlin. And I think the Steelers, I don't want to say they would be stupid to get rid of him, but I kind of think they would, because he's a consistent pillar of the team. And it's kind of weird to look back on the catalyst for this everything with the Steelers right now was the Le'Veon Bell holdout. I know you remember that. After Le'Veon Bell held out, the team started to fall apart. Antonio Brown went psycho. Roethlisberger retired, and they just don't have consistency at any of those positions. Jaylen Warren, he's okay. They got rid of Pickens.
I was going to say, the Pickens, did they let him go to free agency or did they trade him?
They traded him for a third to Dallas.
Exactly.
A third for George Pickens, and then they traded a second for DK Metcalf, who
isn't doing anything.
He hasn't done much. He runs very basic routes, and he gets mad easily. He's like a deluxe George Pickens. And then Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, that's only going to last you maybe another year.
I mean, and the stats speak for themselves. I mean, barely over 2,000 passing yards, 19 for 7 in the touchdown to interception ratio.
Yes, 7 picks.
7 picks. Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 7 picks. I mean, the only reason why this team, to me, is entertaining to watch, and I take football not as a competition value, but sort of like, I'm a big wrestling fan, so, I love entertainment.
Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney, or no, not Jadeveon Clowney. I am so sorry. Jabril Peppers. Jabril Peppers. I absolutely love the fact that he is still in the league, and he is on Pittsburgh. But that's going to do it for this Fraud Watch segment, or Frog Watch, according to the Rick. Come back, and we are going to be doing some Lane Kiffin drama.
I got my swagger back. Oh.
Welcome back to SportsBurst. What the hell is happening at Ole Miss? I mean, this has been a crazy 2-week ride.
It's been more like a month at this point. I think it's been festering for a while, and it just started to come to light recently.
1,000%. I mean, November 17th, Kiffin apparently interviewed for the LSU job, and he was spotted in Baton Rouge driving around. November 26th, he finalizes that deal with LSU. November 29th informs the players that he will no longer be coaching at LSU, at Ole Miss. November 30th, Kiffin publicly announces the LSU hire, and then he was informed that he could not coach Ole Miss in the college football playoffs. And this is absolutely crazy because Kiffin's the guy that has coached Ole Miss into their first 11-win season in program history. And I mean, Ole Miss is 54-19 under Kiffin, and 5 straight bowl games under Kiffin. That's a feat. Going .500 for 5 straight years in a row is an absolute feat in college.
Especially for a team like Ole Miss. Like, you're not the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Ohio States. You're not a top-tier school, but you're not a bottom feeder. You're a good school, and they're having results.
And that's what Kiffin was credited for, bringing Ole Miss from, this small SEC program all the way to the top. And, I mean, they got a playoff berth this year.
Did.
And I'm super excited to see it, but, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, why I think it's so messy is the timing.
It is. It's all the timing. This wouldn't be an issue if it was in the off season, But mid-season, could you imagine if, like, I can't even really pull an example here because it's unprecedented, but could you imagine if the coach of the Cowboys just went and coached a different team, like this week?
Yeah,
Just quit.
absolutely quit, left his players behind. There's some like talks that he's trying to poach players now. I mean, many see Kiffin leaving the team as a stark betrayal.
It is.
I,
Frankly, it is.
It is, but at the same time, I'm not like, okay, I don't agree with Kiffin. I've never liked Lane Kiffin simply because he doesn't care about his players' mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And in a game where you're literally putting your brain into a blender, mental health matters.
It does.
Where CTE can happen at any time,
Mm-hmm.
it matters. But at the same time, what happens when you get a 9-year, $91 million deal to a bona fide top 5 school?
It's one of those things where you kind of have to take it. But I don't know. It feels like this isn't as much a Lane Kiffin problem as much as it is NCAA regulations. This shouldn't be able to happen.
No.
Like, there's a reason the NFL regulates interviewing coordinators who are still in playoff contention. This shouldn't be able to happen at all.
In college sports, I mean, I love me some NIL. I love, the way things are done over there, but holy hell.
It's messy.
The transfer portal, coaches leaving,
Mm-hmm.
players selling their services, going from school to school to see what deal they can get the best. Carson Beck signing for $15 million to play 1 year at Miami?
Yeah.
Who, keep in mind, was literally a game away from missing the playoffs today. BYU saved their sorry asses. Just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I can understand the hate that Kiffin's getting. I mean, as he boarded that flight to Baton Rouge, he was met with spats, boos.
It's deserved. I mean, he abandoned his players and his team, and then he tried to act like he wasn't the one doing it.
But he wanted to stay in the playoffs and coach his team. And even the players wanted him to stay.
That isn't exactly proven. Apparently Kiffin is the one that said the players wanted him to stay, and then the players, some of them have come out and said, that's not true. We don't want him here. He left us. So that could be a lie by Lane Kiffin.
1,000%. And I mean, bringing it back to what you said, I mean, this hire is just, once again, part of a larger coaching carousel problem. Mm-hmm. I mean, in college football where coaches jump schools for bigger deals, and some veterans in the sport, are already harshly criticizing Kiffin for abandoning his team for a better deal. Football has now come down to a game of morality. Yeah. College football especially has come down to a game of morality rather than a game of skill. Are you going to stay with your team and build that program up, or are you just using your current team as a resume booster?
It seems like he pretty much used it as a resume booster because now that he's got the LSU job, he doesn't have to go any further up unless he wishes to go to the NFL.
And I mean, with Brian Kelly gone, Kiffin over there at LSU, Kiffin is 54-19, like I said, with Ole Miss. Just imagine what he's going to do with that recruiting power and that money at LSU, frankly. I love me some Ole Miss, but if I had the choice to go to Ole Miss or LSU on a scholarship, I'd choose LSU any day.
Exactly.
I
will say, though, from a perspective of ethics, or a perspective not of ethics, this is a great hire for LSU. They've got a really good coach who's going to build a really good team.
And he's already doing that. Apparently, he's already, locking in top recruits, retaining key staff like defensive coordinator Blake Baker. I mean, Kiffin is there to get the job done at the very least. And, I don't know how I would describe this. I mean, it's like LSU was bringing in Kiffin for something bigger. They sort of had it with Brian Kelly. I mean, the LSU coaching carousel, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's pretty bad. They've gone through like 5 coaches. Okay. They had Ed O, Brian Kelly, and now Lane Kiffin, a couple of other coaches.
Yeah.
I think LSU was trying to lock in, with this 9-year deal, their guy. Their absolute guy. This is the guy they want for the next 9 years. Because if they're already paying him $91 million and they're ready to fire him in the next 3 years because it doesn't work out, that buyout's going to be potentially even bigger.
Well, that's how college football has worked for a while now. You get these coaches, these long contracts, and then they never make it, and you end up just paying them out because the schools have enough money to do it. But hopefully they don't have to buy him out, and it works out.
Yeah, you don't want that, especially in college football where it's a high stakes, high reward kind of situation. You don't want to shift perception from a program builder to a mercenary coach. That's the last thing you want to do.
Well, when you look at it like that, does it really matter? Because they were able to bring in Lane Kiffin after this long string of coaches who maybe did or didn't work out to their extent, and no one cares. I mean, they care about the situation, but it's okay unless you have another new coach. They don't care about.
And with plenty of baggage at that, though.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Happens.
Plenty of baggage, and I mean, this is just going to fuel debates for years to come.
It will.
About coaching turnover, whether program hopping is eroding team stability and player trust. It 1,000% is.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the Lane Kiffin segment. But come back where we are going to be looking at the NFL Week 14.
Not quite yet.
NFL Week 6-7 slate.
They run out of time in the end, and the offensive coordinator, Dorsey.
We're back! Sorry, Rick.
Had to happen.
Week 14. I mean, it already started. We're a little late. Once again, we apologize.
It happens. It's finals.
It's finals, Go Knights. But I predict that the Lions will beat the Cowboys in the Thursday night game.
I love Dallas, but I have a good feeling about Detroit.
And I think the score, put this on your leg. It's going to be 44-30. Exactly.
How much would you wager on that?
This entire apartment, all of Gemini Drive at UCF, and
$5.
Yeah, $5.
Just to put it over the top.
Yeah, $5.
Yeah.
Why not? And this copy of NFL 2K5.
Are you sure you want to wager that?
I got it on an emulator.
Okay.
We're chill. Legally, my legal dump.
Sure.
Anyways,
it was a rough game.
Yeah,
it was a rough watch. Dallas's offense, they started off pretty bad. Their defense, as always, they weren't there, and they almost started to come back, but then they slipped away again. It just didn't happen. 30-44 loss.
And while this doesn't knock Dallas out of playoff contention, it certainly lowers their chances. They're coming in at 9% for winning the playoff or for going to the playoffs.
Glory hole.
Listen, it could still happen, but it's probably not. But it still could. It still could.
I mean, the first things first, they have to win out.
They do. 100%.
Every game from. I'm not even going to go over the schedule because it truly doesn't matter. I mean, it does to an extent. You want to know if they have an easy schedule.
But they have to win.
But they have to win.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely have to win. If they lose one more game, it's over. They're not going to the playoffs. And Dak deserves better, man. That's my thing.
I think it'll be better once they've had time to structure the team a little bit more.
Focus on defense.
Focus on the defense. You've got 2 firsts coming up.
Focus on defense and a great defensive draft, I'll mind you. Focus on defense. Keep CeeDee Lamb. Keep Dak Prescott. Javonte Williams has definitely proved that he is the guy over there.
But will Jerry sign him?
Jerry Jones and his famous signing holdouts. It's not even the players sometimes. It's just Jerry.
It's just Jerry.
It's
never really the players.
Yeah, he just wants the attention. And, I mean, other than that, though, Cowboys might be in a good spot next season.
I think they have a good future going forward, and it does somewhat hinge on if they sign George Pickens to an extension. It all depends on the amount of money they give him because he's a good receiver, don't get me wrong, but if they tie him up in a big contract along with CeeDee Lamb and along with Dak, you know what team that sounds a lot like? Cincinnati Bengals. And what do they have at defense? Nothing. They don't have anything at defense.
Absolutely nothing.
So it might be better for Dallas to not re-sign Pickens, even though I think they should. I don't know. It'll be a tough decision, and whatever decision Jerry makes, it's probably the wrong one.
I mean, I could almost toy with letting CeeDee go, even though I just said it. Even though I just said re-sign him. He's made some very crucial drops this year.
He has, but I feel like he's the caliber of player you just can't get rid of. And after the Dallas-Detroit game, Pickens kind of looked like that Pittsburgh Pickens a little bit. And then he was going on social media getting mad at Richard Sherman blatantly. Now, you can debate whether you think he's in the wrong for that or not. I don't think he's in the wrong because Richard Sherman he's been pretty rude to a lot of players this year. But it's not the best look.
No, you definitely, especially in the NFL where all eyes are on you, you can't have a guy like that.
You can't, but it's part of his brand.
It is a part of the Pickens brand. I mean, we all know that famous picture of him getting drafted in the Shiesty.
Yep.
Great picture. But moving on, Titans versus Browns, everyone's favorite crap fest of a game.
Hey, this could be big for the draft. This could have big implications. If the Titans win in this game, they're not guaranteed the first overall pick. So this is an absolute toilet bowl of a game, but it could be something.
And I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think a lot of people are going to be tuning into this game tomorrow.
I don't think I will.
I mean, I want to see Shador versus Cam Ward personally. I mean, you can't say that you don't. Two rookie quarterbacks?
I can say that I don't.
You don't like Shador?
I don't really have anything for or against him. I just don't care a whole lot to watch this game. The most appealing part of it might be that it has a chance to snow. So it's always nice to see a snow game.
I love snow games.
That, of course, but it's probably not going to be that much.
Give me 10-7 Browns. Yeah. I mean, same for you.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
You're not even going to entertain a score.
10-7. How about it?
10-7. 10-7 Browns. Seahawks versus Falcons.
That'll be a game. Kirk Cousins at quarterback for the Falcons against Sam Darnold for the Seahawks. That's two former Vikings going against each other.
Watch it be a shootout.
Honestly, I could see it. But then again, the Seahawks, they have a really good defense against a pretty shaky Falcons everything. So it'll probably just be another easy win for the Seahawks. But the Falcons have a really good pass rush, and Sam Darnold struggles against the pass rush. So it might. I mean,
low-key, though, I can just see that being a 31-14 Seahawks game.
That's about what I was thinking. I was thinking about 28-14.
Yeah.
It's just Seahawks. It's just going to kind of happen.
Yeah, Atlanta's just having an absolute struggle of a fest. I mean, they're still waiting on that Kyle Pitts Sr. breakout.
Hey, every year it looks like he's going to have that breakout for the first few games, and then he just dips.
Exactly. I am very fortunate, and I'm saying this as a Miami fan, to not be an Atlanta fan. Because, I mean, I'd rather, not lose or not win a single playoff game for the next 20 years than be 28-3.
Yeah. I'm happy that they have Kirk and Minnesota doesn't.
Exactly.
That's rich coming from somebody who likes J.J. McCarthy. So maybe I shouldn't say that.
And speaking of Minnesota, they got a game tomorrow against the Commanders.
I got one for you on this. They could win this game.
Really?
I do think they could, because when you look at the numbers of the defenses that they have faced with McCarthy as the starter, it's been bad. He has played against some really tough defenses, and he's not played good. I'm not going to try to grasp at straws to say that he's been good, because he hasn't. But they've got a different philosophy for this game. Not going to be focused on his mechanics and all that stuff. We're just playing football. I think Minnesota can win. They're at home against a pretty bad defense, against a team that may or may not be trying to win. They might be doing a subtle tank to get a good draft pick. They could win. It would be a close one. I'm thinking 28-24 Vikings.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I mean, we don't have Jaden Daniels. You don't got to worry.
They do.
Wait, is Jaden Daniels back?
He is playing. Jaden Daniels is playing. Jaden Daniels is playing.
After getting his arm absolutely just...
Apparently, well, it was his left arm, so he doesn't have to throw with it.
My point exactly, though.
But, okay, so medically, it was fine because it was everything. Everything dislocated on the elbow. Whole thing. But because of that, it was a quick recovery. They didn't have to do any major fixing because it just did itself. And since it was his left arm and not his right arm, going with his right arm, he's fine. Fine. But I will say, this is a terrible move for them because they could stick with Mariota and just be fine, win or lose. When you get a nice win-lose, you get a better draft pick, and you don't risk your young quarterback getting hurt.
And Mariota's been pretty efficient.
Mariota
has been very efficient throughout this entire season. He's been using the sweet feet.
Chris Collins was special.
That Marcus Mariota. No, but once again, he's been really efficient.
He's been good. He's been a good quarterback, and I don't think they should be switching him back out for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, no, their season's pretty much over.
It is, and I say that as a Vikings fan who wants to lose, that the Commanders should not be trying to win this game. Now, I do hope that for the sake of the Vikings, this is one of the good games that you lose. I hope they lose for draft picks, but I hope that it's a really good game. I hope Jefferson has a yards receiving, unlike last week, and I hope JJ can have more touchdowns than picks for a game.
Yeah,
one game would be nice.
That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
I mean, I don't want to talk about this game. Do I have to talk about it?
Go right ahead.
Dolphins versus Jets.
I mean, this could also be a draft pick game if you want to get technical with it.
Miami beats the Jets. Moving on. Saints Buccaneers. I mean,
Buccaneers probably win this.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Saints are a pretty crap team.
Saints don't have a whole lot going for them. We were talking about this the other day. They have nothing good on offense. That have even less on defense.
Yeah, they have a injured Chris Olave. That's the best. That's the best we got. Yeah, no.
It's a game.
It's once again another game. Falling back on the Dolphins and Jets game, I feel like I didn't show it enough love. What I'm really looking for in this game is consistency out of Tua. I don't want a better draft pick. I want to see that my team can perform. And especially against a team like the Jets, who really don't have anything. They have sauce, but
they don't have sauce.
They don't have sauce. They do not. They traded sauce.
They did.
I'm just really looking for a consistent game with Tua.
Yeah.
I'm looking for at least 20 passes completed out of maybe 27. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. At the very least, though, I want complete 12 passes.
Yeah.
Please. Complete 12 passes.
I do think it's funny that we have very similar standards for JJ and Tua is a 6th-year starter?
Yeah.
Fifth-year starter.
Fifth, yeah, he was drafted.
A guy starting his 6th game. But it's the breaks, I guess.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible being a Dolphins fan.
Right there with you.
It'll never get better, truly. I really don't think it will. I mean, with the Greer firing, maybe. Yeah. But that's enough about the Dolphins and Jets.
Yeah, you don't want to talk
truly
about them.
care less.
Bengals, Bills. This could be a good game.
Oh my God.
Both teams are still trying to cement themselves into the playoffs. The Bengals aren't out of it yet, but it's basically they're just like Dallas. They have to win out and have a few things shake the right way. But honestly, I think they beat the Bills here. The Bills, they've been
falling off a cliff.
They've been pretty mid this year, and the Bengals have that life with Joe Burrow coming back, and they're trying to win. They're hungry for it. I think the Bengals win this.
And they have a great offense. I mean, under Flacco, too. Flacco was doing absolutely great with them, So I could absolutely see the Bengals taking it. I want the Bengals to take it. I love Joe Burrow. I'm a Joe Burrow guy. If any underdog's going to win the Super Bowl this year, I want it to be Joe Burrow. It was so sad watching him take that last sack against the Rams a couple years ago to absolutely seal it. But, yeah, no. Give me, what are you thinking, 30-27, something along that ballpark?
I can get behind that,
yeah.
I think it'll be a little bit more of a gap, maybe more like 35-24.
Yeah.
I do think Cincinnati wins this.
Oh, 1,000%.
Though they have such a bad defense, this could just be a shootout. It could be one of the 48-45 games.
1,000%.
I'm fine with that.
Rapid firing through these two, or rather 3, I don't really care games. Rams, Cardinals, give me the Rams.
Yep. Colts, Jaguars.
Give me the Colts.
Yep.
Steelers, Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Well, that's a divisional game. That could be close. So I'm still taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I was going to say regardless. Give me the Ravens. Give me the Broncos and Raiders. You're taking the Raiders?
I'm taking
Oh, I was going to say.
wanted to see if I could sneak that one in there.
And then last but not least, we have somewhat of a very decent Monday night game.
Hey, don't forget, we also have Bears-Packers.
I did miss Bears-Packers tomorrow at 4:25.
One of those games that I don't really want to see it happen. It's one of those that I don't want any team to win. I have to take the Packers because I don't want the Bears to get the 1 seed. But I do think the Packers win this.
Give me the Bears.
Okay.
Caleb Williams is a stud.
No,
First and foremost. Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's a
Lego
stud.
stud, if anything.
He's a stud. Jordan Love's a stud.
It's Toyota-thon, so he's still doing good.
Give me Caleb Williams over Jordan Love, though.
It's Toyota-thon.
Give me Caleb Williams over. I don't care about Toyota-thon.
What do you think Caleb Williams' pass completion percentage is this year?
Probably like 42%.
It is higher than that, but it would be bad if it was 42%.
Give me Caleb Williams.
Listen, I hate both of these teams, and I think I would take Jordan Love over Caleb Williams. It's disgusting to say, but it'll be a close game. It's a divisional game. It's in Green Bay. It'll be a good game, and it has no chance of snow. 17 degrees, though. It'll be a cold one.
It'll be a definitely fun one to watch. But last and certainly not least, Eagles versus Chargers. Frauds versus, a team that's trying to make their way.
Frauds versus Chargers.
Yeah. Give me the Chargers.
I think I have to take the Chargers, too. They seem like a better team all around.
I mean, 1,000% Justin Herbert. I believe, Keenan Allen. Say what you will about him, but he is good. He has made a career out of converting third downs.
He has. This game does hinge on Herbert, though, because he has a left hand injury. I believe he broke a finger.
It does. He is questionable.
If he plays, I'm taking the Chargers. But if he doesn't play, I believe that would be Trey Lance, of all people playing.
That could be a fun game to see, though. Trey Lance versus Philadelphia?
It would be.
Are you serious?
It would be something. I would take Philly if that's the case. But if Herbert plays, I'm taking the Chargers.
I mean, Philly lost to the Giants, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Give me the Chargers regardless.
Yeah.
I am not a big cry Eagles cry. And speaking of crying, we are about to cry because it is the end of our second episode. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Austin Suarez, co-hosted with Nate Watson, wishing you a happy Cinco de Mayo.